British Airways i360 is located in Brighton. We're the world's tallest moving observation tower, conceived and designed by Marks Barfield Architects, who created the London Eye. As well as the observation tower, we also have flexible event spaces and a restaurant located on our beach building. We have a giant glass pod that glides up to 450 feet and can host up to 200 passengers on board. We had a whole year of sales inquiries and promoting the venue even before we opened. So we'd managed the bookings and inquiries through a diary system. I'm talking a good old paper diary, as well as Excel spreadsheets.
We arrived on site to begin the initial implementation and deployment of Rendezvous, I believe in November last year. That started with the business planning meeting. That's the day we spend with them explaining to us their entire business processes, just so that we understand in the most exact manner what they need that system to do. That enables us to configure it so that it does exactly what the client wants. And then we arrive on site. I believe this was sort of the end of November for the 3-day install. We work using the setup documentation, and together we configure their brand new system.
The system has allowed us to multitask. As we are such a small team, it's brilliant to jump from one project to another. So whether it's checking availability in a room, or issuing a contract for a client, or even issuing an invoice, the system's worked really well for us. In terms of reporting, it's a blessing because now we know what provisional business we have on the books, as well as what tentative and contracted business is confirming. As the system is cloud-based, it's been really beneficial for our operations team, who often hot desk or work from laptops. They can look at a glance on what business is on the books from now all the way up until December 2019 if they wanted. We used to initially put it in an Outlook calendar, and now thankfully we don't have to do that anymore because they can go straight into the diary system.
As Rendezvous is a fully hosted solution, all the IT sits with us, thereby making it a nice, simple, straightforward install. It's just not something the client has to worry about at all.
NFS really did go above and beyond to make sure that our brand guidelines were adhered to, and even created bespoke booking confirmations based on what we were initially working with pre-project. It was a pleasure having Deb on site, who's always an absolute delight. With going through the training bit by bit, it actually made us realise how easy it is to pick up on the system, and how simple it is to add an event room, or even add a menu into the system, or change pricing. It was really easy to use, and thankfully the sales team picked up on that very, very quickly.
It was quite a complex install. The set of custom reports NFS did for them were really quite awesome. They needed terms and conditions, they needed minimum numbers, they needed menus to show, they needed all sorts on this custom document. So yes, we had to adhere to very, very strict branding guidelines. So yeah, it was a very, very good site to work on, very enjoyable.
As we are such a huge venue on the seafront, there's not necessarily a big realisation that we are quite a small team and we don't have a big IT support behind us. So with using NFS Rendezvous, we chose this system so that we could add in any packages and just mould the system as we needed for the future. As
their business evolves moving forward, they've already learned as system administrators how to configure their system. So the requirement for us to have to keep coming back time and time again, and it being costly, ends up that they have full control over their own system.
It's been an absolute pleasure to deal with NFS. I actually genuinely don't know what I would do without having this system. It's worked so well for us. We've converted a number of inquiries since having the system. It's brilliant because not only do we look after the inquiries and also having those activities and do the coordination, it's brilliant for us to look back on the amount of business that the venue has taken and being so new as well, it's great to see how far we're going to get in the future.